Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here we're going to be giving you a guide for the best teams and equipment that you could run with Ultra Instinct Goku. Of course, he's coming out, he's the new best unit in town. Everybody's going to want him, so you're going to want to know how to build him. This is happening before he comes out, but I want to also point out that this can basically prepare you in advance, but bear in mind that there's the Ultra Bonanza coming. So if you want to grind equipments, make sure to do it when the Ultra Bonanza starts, which pretty much should be tomorrow as well. But if it doesn't start tomorrow, then maybe wait till Wednesday. But if you want to prepare from now, you can also do that. There's not much more to be said in this video. I'm going to give you guys the best teams and equipments. Let's get into the video. Alright, so the first thing we got to talk about is Universe Rep. This should have been the standard. It should have been the standard. Universe Rep is obviously going to be the best team for him, not going to lie. But if we go to the party formation, let's go to character list instead, because there's a lot of characters I don't have. So 17 is going to be the captain of the boat. He's going to be insane, but he's not really the MVP anymore because Ultra Instinct Goku's taken over. Ultra Instinct Goku is yellow and he's ranged, so bear that in mind when making the team, because I'm making this in advance to him coming out. So you're going to want to run 17, you're going to definitely want Evo Ken, and then you're definitely going to want the Ultra Instinct Goku, of course. So those will be your three. So you've got a green, a blue, and a yellow. You can Zenkai buff the green with Toppo, and that also gives Blast Z ability to everybody on the team. You can Zenkai buff, I believe, UI Sign, not UI Sign, you can give the Z ability to the whole team with UI Sign, but you could also run him as well, which is what I wanted to say. His Z ability is Universe Survival Saga, but he's Zenkai buffs Universe Rep, but you're not running any purples. But if you did want to run Jiren instead of Evo Ken or someone, you could, and that way you could Zenkai buff him if you wanted to run him. So that would work as well. Let's not take away Go Freezer being on the team as well. Even though he's more strike orientated, he could also fit the build just because he's that OP. But of course 17 would fit the team. He doesn't really have a Zenkai buffer on this squad, but you want to think about possible Zenkai buffs for UI Sign too. So depending on which way you go, you might make it God Key orientated, right? So you've got Ultra Instinct Sign, you've got him as a yellow, you've got this guy here who's going to be a God Key Zenkai buff, I'm pretty sure. The ability Zenkai buff God Key Saiyan. Evo can eat off that, so that's good as well, even though it's strike based, but I'm just putting it out there. And there's also the Super Saiyan God Goku who also eats off that as well. And I believe the Zenkai Bardock, if I actually go to him, there's a lot of options. Zenkai Bardock over here, if I actually check what he's Zenkai buffs, I believe it's Saiyan, but I don't know that for a fact. Yeah, so Saiyan as well, and his Z ability is Saiyan and Blast Attack, so that could also be a Zenkai buffer depending on who you're running. So if you think about it, because if the Bardock's only going to be bench, you could put him on the bench as well to Zenkai buff the new Ultra Sign because he's a Saiyan, and then you could give him pretty much a triple Zenkai buff. So I wouldn't go this guy as well. I think he's Zenkai buff Son Fam. Let me check. Oh, it's even Saiyan, so that's even better as well. This guy has Saiyan, but I wouldn't go for him, even though he does buff Son Family. It depends on which free units you want to use. So if you're using 17 on the leader slot, your bench can vary a lot, you know. I'm putting this guy up, Bardock up, I'm putting Kaioken up. I believe the Super Saiyan God Goku, Vegeta also buffs God Key and God Key as well, even though his Z ability is washed. You put them up. You can see there's quite a few options which I'm giving you to actually build a bench to actually Zenkai buff, and this would be a triple Zenkai buff. I wouldn't really go all the way, but yeah, I'm just giving you options even though it's Universe Rep. But let's go back to Universe Rep specifically. If we're looking at the characters that could be potential units you could run, I wouldn't really have a lot of options, but of course for the blue we're going to take 17 without a doubt. For the green you take Evo Ken without a doubt. Maybe Rev UI if you want to run the double UI for the gimmick. It could actually be useful. It's actually not a bad option if you have him decently starred. If we go to purple, Jiren, Go Freezer will be your main two. UI Sign is a third option, but he's a Zenkai buffer, which is also good. If we go to yellow, it's obviously the UI Sign, so I'm not mentioning anybody else. Everybody else is honestly washed anyways. And red, I wouldn't really bring a red, but you have MUI and hit, right? So I don't really say bring any of them. MUI is the most washed UI in the game right now because the purple UI got a Zenkai. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But if you was to give me a 3, I would run 17 100%, 100%. Evo Ken 200%, and of course Ultra Sign is going to be running 17 on the leader slot. Keep the bench God Key and Saiyan so that these guys can buff the team. It will be a Son Family Z ability Saiyan and God Key as well, triple Zenkai buff for the Ultra UI Sign. But of course you could also give Evo Ken a Zenkai buff if you wanted to add Toppo to the bench. You could even use the green Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, multiple options. That would be your first team Universe Rep. Right, next up we got Sun Family, and Sun Family is a very interesting team as well. I think this could be his second best team, but it could also be his third best team. But I'd say it's second because I think it just has better equips than Saiyans, but I will get into Saiyans as well. I think Sun Family is just that tad bit more versatile because they have the Beast Gohan on the team. So you can see I'm running Evo Ken and Beast, and of course your leader slot is going to be UI Sign, so you can get that Ultra ability. Then I'm also Zenkai buffing with the 4Q. I got FSK Zenkai buffing Beast, and I got Pan there. This is probably the best team I could make up, but if I show you all the Sun Family options that are available, I actually just had to change my Z ability to the max base health because I was looking for one and I forgot that Pan gave HP as well. There is quite a few options, but not all of them are good. So let's just go through the character list, right? You can see there's already a lot. Sun Family is packed. But if you wanted to run a blue, I'd say Beast and Bardock and Goku could fit that bill. Bardock and Goku could also fit on Saiyans, but I'm going to get to that. Green, you should definitely just be running Evo Ken. It just makes the most sense. But if you really got a 14-star tag 4s, I'm not against bringing them either. Purple, we got Gold Frieza, UI Sign. It will kind of mess up the synergy for specifically Sun Family in terms of the Z abilities, but I'm just giving you some options in general. And then for yellow, I already chose 4Q for the buff, but you have to keep the UI Sign. So I wouldn't recommend anybody else. Don't run double yellow as well. That's a death trap. And then for red, really and truly, you just got Pan for the buff and then Beast. Everybody else is kind of just cooked. I kind of missed out the Goku here for the purple, but again, I wouldn't really trust him as well, especially when there's Evo Ken and Beast. You really just want to pick Evo Ken and Beast. And here I've just got the one Zenkai buff, which works pretty well. Beast getting a Zenkai buff as well. It can be blast orientated, even though Beast is a melee type. Evo Ken is still blast, and FSK gives the Z ability for blast. Beast gets more blast on the Zenkai buff. It just really works all the pieces together. UI Sign would obviously be on the leader slot because you don't want to sack off his ultra ability for the universe rep, because obviously this is not universe rep. There's only one other there, so he'd be getting what, 10%, including himself, which is super low. You want to get the max. So yeah, that's number 2 team. I'd say Sun Family. Next up we got Saiyans. I still got the team as Sun Family, so let me actually change that. Let's respect the name Saiyan, right? And this is going to be the final team that I think you should run him on. Saiyans is very good. It's very versatile. It can work extremely well, especially because the Zenkai buffs go crazy. I don't know why I got Goku Youth there. It must have subbed out somebody. I had Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which is insane. But cool. Let's look at this properly. We've got Super Saiyan 3 Goku buffing Evo Ken, Zenkai buffing, and Bardock and Goku. So that's 2 Zenkai buffs from one character. We got 4Q and Bardock buffing Ultra Sign, and it's all Saiyan Sun Family all the way through except for Bardock, but you don't have to worry about the bench anyways, and his Z ability buffs Saiyan, so that works very efficiently. But of course you can change things up depending on how you want to run things. So my main 3, they all have Goku, so it's Sun Family. So if you wanted to switch that and you could use Raditz, you could use Pan, those 2 would work on your bench. Of course, you don't have to be triple Zenkai buffing as well, depending on how you wanted to run it. You could go for the third, but then it'd mess up for Goku and Bardock because they're not God Key related. I also want to point out that you don't have to use Goku and Bardock. There's so many options you can use. Put that one down. You see everybody light up. You want to put Gold Frieza down. You see everybody lights up. It just really works no matter what you want to run. You could even put some Ultras in. Fusion Warriors is basically Saiyans as well, which is crazy. Like, Saiyans has limitless potential depending on how you want it to run. But I guess the best way to go through what you could be putting together is me basically saying who's actually good and who's not, because a lot of characters are washed. So if we're going into blue, I'd say Goku and Bardock are pretty much going to be the only unit that you might want to consider. If we're going into green, Pycon, again, you kind of building a weird team, so remember that. You got to remember the Z abilities won't be crossing over. But Evo Ken, and I'd say just them 2 pretty much. Every other green is kind of washed. If we're going into purple, Gold Frieza, UGB, UI Sign, then 3 would be cooking up for the purples. Yellow, again, you're using UI Sign, the new one, the Ultra, but 4Q could do damage. Bardock, but I don't think Bardock's that great. And then if you want to go into red, I wouldn't really shout anybody for red except Ultra Vegeta or blue. 8 Vegeta, I've heard him do numbers, but then again, remember the Z abilities, the Ultra abilities, if you're picking any Ultras, they cross over weird depending on what characters you're using, which is why I've put together this thing here. I'd say it's pretty much a good composition to make Ultra Sign the best on the team. But again, you have to think about your stars on other units. So in this team, Gold Frieza and Evo Ken are going to suffer because they're only 3 stars. But of course, if I was really dedicated to the team, I'd have them higher stars. But it's just for show, really. You guys that actually use the team, you'd have a decent team, decent build, so I don't have to go into too much detail about it, but you can see the gist of what I'm getting at when I'm building Saiyans here. We got to go into some equipments. So the first one I'm going to mention is this one because he's a range type. So we got the Awaken 10 times Kamehameha, which you can find in the Legends ranking shop. In the exchange shop, you get the memory from there, and then you need to awaken it using like multiple stuff. Like, you go through the process, but that's the first equip. You definitely want to use this because he's going to be blast based, and it'll help him get that extra damage through all his buffs he already has in his kit. If you're running him on Sun Family, this equipment is a must. You can see you can get pure Sun Family from both stats, 12%, 12%, and you get base defenses of both kinds and extra strike on the first slot. How you can get this is from the dual coin shop. It's the only place, which is unfortunate, but it's almost a must grab. It's almost a must grab. This one here is good as well because UI Sign actually heals a lot. It's the Let's Go equipment that dropped recently. It gives you 30%, 35% blast attack, and you get health restoration. That health restoration will come in clutch. How you can get it is from the Universe Survival Saga to Ultimate Equipment Collection, which is going to be super valuable for him. Of course, you can consider this Universe Rep equipment. You can see I've got the Strike Defense, the Key Recovery, it's the Awaken Explosive Clash. Over here, you can see you can get Melee or Blast, and it's pure, which is super good, and you get some based of each stat, which is good. I've got this one on a Blast, and how you can get this, the Memory in the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush Shop, but of course, you're going to need the Unawakened version, which I'll show you right now. Here we go. We got the unawakened explosive clash equipment, and how you can get this is from equipment medals. It's very consistent. It's quite hard to get, but you can use the ultra equipment bonanza to actually work on upgrading this. Depending on your build, I wouldn't really advise for going the defensive route simply because he has the gauge, but he might be squishy because he has the gauge. So with this equipment, if you're running him on Universe Rep, he can get value out of getting defenses, but he also does get some base and health. So he does benefit entirely. This could actually give him that extra defenses that he needs to actually withstand in PvP, especially if you have him low stars. How you can get this, you can get it from the dual coin shop. Unfortunately, it's the only place, but I think I should mention it just to help you out. And the last equipment I'm going to mention is currently not in the game, but I think it's going to be available in the Ultimate Equipment Collection. It's going to be a new equipment specifically for Ultra Instinct Saiyan Goku. It's not out yet, like I said, but Toshi mentioned it in the reveals and stuff. And if you can get your hands on it, it's most likely going to be one of the most valuable equips in the game for this unit. So I definitely advise you cook up for that equipment because it might even be better than any other equipment I showed you in this video. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. Hopefully this video was helpful. I do my best to give you guys the best odds of getting the best team, whatever you need, so you can build for this unit. This unit is going to be insane, and I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to using it. So of course I got to bring you guys this video, but that's all I've got to say, man. I appreciate you guys for watching the video. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.